You'll notice when you test the game and the controls that the player can go off the screen. So what we need to do is go back into our code and create some limits to stop that from happening. Let's close that down, go to the player object, double click on it, go to our code, and let's enter. Let's put some more bits in there, and we'll create another hint. So 3 backward slashes, and we'll call it limits. We'll put in another hint, so we're going to deal with the top limit, and we're going to use an if statement to test the position of the player. So if and the position of the player variable y, and what we're going to do is use a less than expression, and that's shift and comma. It gives you these arrows, so it's less than or equal to, and we're going to set a border of like 32 pixels. So if the position of the player is less than 32 pixels from the top of the screen, then do these curly brackets, so open the brackets, the position of the player equals 32. So because this is a step event, every time it tries to go beyond or less than 32 pixels towards the top of the screen, it will just keep it at 32 pixels from the top of the screen, if that makes any sense. So what we need to do is copy and paste that again. We'll call this one bottom. Again, we're using the y-axis, but what we're going to do is, instead of being less than, we're going to set it to greater than with that shift and full stop, or equal to, and 32 pixels from the bottom of the screen, so which is 544 pixels, then y equals 544. So as the player moves down, it reaches that 544 pixel threshold, it'll keep it at that. So let's copy and paste it some more, and we do right. So this time we're using the x axis, and it's the same thing again, but this time it's 32 pixels from the end of the screen, so that's 32 minus 1024, it gives us 992 pixels. Again, x equals 992. Actually, I've done that wrong. It should be greater than for right, so that's shift full stop. And left, x is less than 32, x equals 32. So let's run through that again. So we're using if statements to test the position of the player. And so when the player reaches a certain threshold, which will be defined with these pixel values, then it will keep it within that pixel value, which will stop us going off the screen. So let's test that. So OK it. Click on OK. So now when we move, you can see it stops with this kind of border.